Good afternoon. My name is Eunice Orji. How are we doing? I want to believe that we are all doing well and staying safe. Let us thank God for life and for good health. We have all returned to our usual or normal activities, and things seems to be returning slowly to an unusual normal, though the pandemic is not over. The responsibility is now on us to do the right things so we can stay alive. We cannot depend on government any longer to force us to do things for ourselves. We have to be practical about these things to stay alive. Keep your face mask on when you are outdoors. Wash your hands with soap and water, and at all times use sanitizers as often as you can when water is not readily available. Try not to touch your face and stay home when you do not really need to go out. I'd rather have you alive than dead. Please stay safe. My topic today is post-COVID-19 and our new realities. But before I continue, please like and share this message so that other people can benefit from it. COVID-19 crept into our world and changed our lives. Things are no longer the same and will not be the same for a very, very long time. That is, if it will ever be the same. I want you to know that no matter the changes we are forced to make, there is hope. Do not despair. We will recover what we have lost by God's grace. So what is COVID-19? What is post-COVID-19? Post-COVID-19 is the period after COVID-19, when the virus seemed to have died totally. But first, let us look at the realities brought about by COVID-19. What is our reality today? What are the facts of the pandemic? We have a virus that induces a disease called COVID-19. The virus emerged in Wuhan, China in December 2019 and has spread all over the world. The disease is highly transmissive and has infected millions of people worldwide and killed thousands too. So far, there is no cure or vaccine for this disease as of today. To reduce the transmission of the disease, practically all over our own country and countries all over the world, there was stay at home. Countries imposed stay at home in order to reduce the disease and the infection. Economic activities were shut down and both land and air borders closed. The effect of the grounding of economic activity has led to wide-scale unemployment. World stock markets have lost trillions of dollars in value as stock markets tumbled all over the world. Businesses have either become bankrupt or are going into bankruptcy. Small and medium companies, medium-scale companies, and well-established companies were all affected. COVID-19 exposed countries to the reality of the inadequacies of their health system, which were overrun easily and quickly by the effects of the virus. Others found out that they lacked even the basic public health system needs, just like our country did. COVID-19 patients poured into the available health facilities without end. There are currently at least 100 different vaccines at different stages of development. The consensus is that the world will find a vaccine, but that will likely not happen within the next 12 to 18 months. Certain industries have been completely destroyed or disorientated by some of these activities. These industries include aviation, hospitality, sports and athletics, tourism, live entertainment, theatrical shows, oil and gas, film production, retail, automotive, and travels. These are to mention a few. Some industries have fared better during the pandemic. Some of these are telecommunication, technology, food, healthcare, medical equipment, delivery services. Deliveries of food and consumer staples and other goods were delivered during the lockdown period. Personal hygiene and disinfectant products are some of the businesses that also thrived. Now let us see what we have lost during this pandemic. Some of us have lost loved ones from the disease or from other illnesses for which we could not receive proper attention due to COVID-19. Some have fallen ill due to stress and fear induced by the pandemic. Others who have not fallen ill are under constant stress, fear, and anxiety. Some of us have lost our jobs, contracts, and businesses. Some of us have fallen victims to robbers, scammers, and other violent acts induced by the circumstances of the pandemic. Some of us have suffered domestic violence. There is an increase in domestic violence as we stayed home with our families for weeks and months. Children have been abused by family members. There's been an increase in rape incidences. Also, there's an increase in separation and divorce because some couple found out that the person they are living with is not the person they taught them to be. This happened because they were confined together and were able to read and assess themselves. Some of us has incurred financial losses in investments that have gone bad, in stock markets that have seen substantial losses, or in businesses that have suffered loss or gone bankrupt. As individuals, what do we do? Because we have to start thinking. The reality is facing us right now. It is time for us to reassess our approach to our daily lives. We'll find out that the family income has reduced drastically. And as family members and businesses suffer losses, family members fall into unemployment. At the same time, we'll also observe increasing inflation due to reduced supply of goods and services due to this pandemic. We must start immediately to plan every aspect of our life from henceforth so that we'll understand the cost and benefits of our daily life decisions. All items of expense that are not critical, things you do not need immediately, cut them out. We must be content with the basic necessities of life that we have. We must remove unnecessary excesses. We don't need them. All those extra shoes, $1 million wigs, things that are not necessary. It's time to cut them and use what you have to sustain yourself, because we are facing difficult times. Everybody should acquire a skill. Learn something practical. Without a skill, we cannot perform any task or business to the satisfaction of our clients. And what we have now is that people will be looking for specialization and perfection. These skills must then be deployed in the emerging areas of opportunity. Some opportunities arose within this period. We need to find them and begin to get ourselves acquainted and tap into the benefits of them. If we examine the economical environment, we'll notice that opportunities will emerge in the areas that provide basic necessities such as food, consumables, clothing, health, and health equipment. Renewal and extension of assets, that's extended use of assets such as our cars, the maintenance of our cars, electrical goods, TV, fridge, cookers, ACs, etc. Maintenance, tailoring, woodworking, or furniture maintenance. These opportunities will arise as household and personal income reduce, and people will use their existing assets for longer periods instead of replacing them. There will be no more wastage. People will use cars for years. They will only maintain it without discarding them. Individuals can acquire skills in those areas because they will be in high demand. We should have online presence and ensure good testimonies. It is now internet work, internet everything, online this, online that. So if you're not used to the internet by now, you better wake up, because very soon you might not need to go out to transact business. You transact business from inside your bedroom. They should have online presence and ensure good testimonies or comments of satisfied customers are displayed, because that is what will sell you. You display them on your sites. Individuals can come together also and set up businesses in those areas to give themselves scale and interpersonal support. So you can have these businesses done in groups so that you can have what we call online. You have a stream of people following you. We should explore transiting from current areas of businesses or employment that are susceptible to pandemic. Some businesses will not work. Some have already sacked their staffs. They have shrunk their businesses to include only essential workers. So you must look for another way to do business now. All those things we used to do, running from one office to the other, will not work. Machine will be doing plenty of things for us. Look for practical careers that will not be affected by any pandemic. Example is food business will never go out of business because people will eat. Supplies, farming. If you have space, you have land in your backyard anywhere, plant something. Even vegetable brings in money. We can look to start businesses in these areas or seek employment in the areas that withstood the pandemic. These areas include delivery services. I remember that people cooked and I bought online and they delivered to me. I also remember selling my chickens online. So you have to look for businesses that you can do like that. Telecommunication, medical equipment, sanitary stuff. These are the kind of things that pandemic did not kill. That's why toilet roll was selling for thousands of dollars in America. We should start thinking of multiple incomes. The husband and wife should work to bring in income to sustain the family, or we should start doing multiple jobs. I multitask. I work in an office and I dirty my hands doing farming, so that if one closes, the other one will still be there for you to feed and maintain your family. We'll be amazed at what talents we have and what we are capable of doing. You have to think of it, put the vision forth and begin to plan. It will all come together. We should learn to live with what is available in the country. Example, the goods that are foreign. Look at, we now use our own face mask. We don't buy, you sew. People are making businesses from that. We don't need to go and start importing one thing from Japan that we would not know if they have put some contaminants inside. So we should buy things that we create here, groom things and buy them. Don't start looking for America. If you move now to go to anywhere outside, you will first be quarantined. They will scrutinize you like one dirty thing. So let's identify things in our country and start to use it. After all, people didn't die when they were confined. Most of us used things around us, and we are fresher for it, if you ask me. The post-COVID-19 world will see restrictions to travel, as nations will impose all sorts of visa and travel restrictions. External tourism and medical tourism will become difficult. So all those that used to go abroad to go and look for medical help, it is very obvious that even there, They didn't understand what the COVID was all about. So everybody's weakness has shown, which I better start building our hospitals and doing our own researches. We should embrace accountability. Accountability helps put a check on our excesses. Husband and wife should become accountants. You sign off on stuff so that one person will not be spending in excess. It's not easy to get used to, but we have to try. We must be accountable to ourselves, to our children, our spouses, our parents, our siblings, work colleagues, pastors, etc. We should maintain our spiritual, mental, and physical health. It's very, very important. Do not allow fear to kill you. Do not allow the thought of the unexpected to destroy you. Instead, put your brain to use. Get yourself spiritually well. Spiritual health, very important. Our spiritual health provides an anchor and peace for us in a post-COVID world. If you are able to put yourself spiritually together, you'll be able to walk and analyze practically. Our physical health provides a guard against disease, and mental health gives us capacity to interact and contribute to society. Do exercises. Exercise. When I mean exercise, not just your body, exercise your mind, exercise your spirit. It is very important. We must make sure our immune system is boosted always. Always. And at all times. Also, we must know our numbers medically. Visit your doctor. Know about your health so that you can be able to watch yourself. You can be able to manage your health. Finally, we should increase our networking so that information can flow from others to us and vice versa. Don't be an island. Talk to people. Share thoughts. Don't be shy of this. You need somebody and somebody needs you. This is what COVID-19 has brought us to realize. You must communicate. We need each other to discover new opportunities. We can also gain significant personal and spiritual rewards by showing more compassion, becoming more generous, and actively supporting our communities. The less privileged, let's help them. Volunteer for good causes. Support your local church and church ministries and be our neighbor's keepers. I know some people will say church again. Yes, there are a lot of good churches where we have families and communities coming together to help themselves. We have social workers. It's not just about church. It's about life, about your neighbor. Everybody is supposed to be your neighbor. So let's begin to support our local churches. They help. I am in a church that have what they call welfare department. They feed and clothe people. Some churches, I heard that within this period, they were giving and paying people salaries, feeding. It's not everything they have to come to the net to come and talk about. So it's time to love your neighbor. It's time to be your neighbor's keeper. Because this is the life that we have seen. We have not experienced this before, but we know that it's happened before, hundreds of years before, but this is our time. Let us walk around it. Let us plan for post-COVID-19 times, because it is a reset. If you don't know it, it's a reset. And things are not going to be the same again. Thank you for spending time with me. But please like and share so that all other people can benefit. Nobody is telling us anything. We have to help ourselves now. We can't wait for a non-existing government. We are the government. We should help ourselves. Until I come your way again, please stay safe. Thank you. Shalom.